All right, one of our favorite games to play is what is more likely. And no, this isn't a question of whether Blaine's going to end up in prison or not, or there's going to be an attack.
Hold on, that one's on there.
That one's on there this time?
No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
What's the other thing that's with it?
No, you don't want to hear that. I don't think we can read that live on air. But David has prepared.
Feed?
I got some good ones,
Giant?
boys.
You do?
Let's see.
Hagante.
My goal is to make you think, all right?
Good.
This is which is more likely, college football edition. First one up. Which is more likely? Caleb Williams wins back-to-back Heisman trophies, or a non-SEC school wins the Natty.
Oh,
That's what I wanted.
Caleb Williams goes back to back.
I knew you would say that.
I'm not giving my predictions yet, but I will say, I think it is more likely that a non-SEC team wins the national championship.
So what you're saying?
Not going to say who.
You're picking Michigan.
No, I'm not.
No, Florida State.
No, I'm not. I'm picking Tulane. That's
Texas.
what. Surprise, surprise.
Tulane.
No, here's why. I don't think USC is going to have a good enough year for Caleb to win it again.
Really?
I don't.
That's what you think?
I don't. I am really leaning toward USC not making the Pac-12 championship.
But you still think he balls?
I think he balls. I think he balls, but I don't think they're going to win enough games for him to win it again. He's obviously the favorite going into it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but I think somebody else on a certain other team that is going to make it all the way and win it will have a really good chance to win the Heisman, because I don't think the Pac-12, and the greatest stroke of irony of all time, as it's dissolving, is probably going to have the strongest year, top to bottom team-wise, that it's had since I can remember. I do not see right now, not to give away too much, I'm leaning toward USC not making the Pac-12 championship game, and who was the last Heisman winner to win 9 games? RG3?
RG3 won 9.
RG3 won 9 games? I don't think so.
So, Blaine, we know how difficult it is to win a Heisman trophy, much less back-to-back. We haven't seen it since Archie Griffin with the Buckeyes. That's the only time that it's happened. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we see how hard it is for non-SEC schools these days to win the national championship. So your take here on this?
Well, I think Caleb's just the flashiness of Caleb Williams makes him so great, right? And you got to think the amount of games they won. There's no way that defense is worse than they were last year.
Yeah, but is the Pac-12 better than they were last year?
I would say a little bit better. But I still think they made it to the conference championship and lost, right? So if they can just make it back there, I think Caleb Williams can put up enough numbers and make enough wow plays for people to give him another Heisman Trophy. And it really depends on how the quarterbacks play and the rest of the college football. You know, if there's a lot of down years by guys we think will have great years, then I think Caleb Williams will be head and shoulders above everybody else to win the Heisman. And I still think he'll put up gaudy numbers this year, just like he did last year.
You've got because this USC schedule's no cakewalk when you get into it.
The back half, especially.
The back half. I mean, San Jose State, you're going to win. Nevada, you're going to win. Stanford, you're going to win. Arizona State, you're going to win, but I think that game may be a little bit closer than what people think. Colorado, you're going to win. Arizona, you're going to win. Then here's where it gets weird. And these are all back-to-back. At Notre Dame, Utah at home, who shoved you in a locker every time you've played them lately. At Cal, okay, this isn't a reading contest. I like USC in that one. Washington at home, then at Oregon, then UCLA at home. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, did you see that little rumor with Dante Moore? He's not happy about his NIL situation.
I love that you went there.
Okay, not gonna. This is me. This is me jumping.
To answer your question, no, I didn't hear about it until you told me about it. But that does get us into the next one here. We assume that 5-star freshman Dante Moore would be the starting quarterback at UCLA. We were doing a deep dive on this with our top 5 quarterback battles we did. But then you were saying he's not happy with his NIL deal.
It's a rumor.
So the next one, which is more likely, UCLA wins the Pac-12 with their new quarterback, Dante Moore. Let's assume in this that he stays. Or that Penn State wins the Big Ten with their new quarterback, Drew Aller. Which is more likely?
I've got to go Penn State here, just because I think UCLA lost so much. Not that Chip can't witch it up, but again, going back to the depth of the Pac-12 conference, I don't think UCLA has enough. Now, DTR was coming back. By the way, how good did he look in the preseason game the other night? I mean, he looked like he really belonged, like it translated, pulled a Rosetta Stone in front of everybody. But then Charbonnet as well, you know, and you look, and then, God, the white guy they had at tight end, his name escapes me right now, is a really good player. He transferred out, I believe. I don't think UCLA is deep enough. Drew Aller, to me, in Penn State, right? And we seem to have this conversation with Penn State almost every year, but the problem is you're in the Big Ten East. Now, Drew Aller is a guy that has a ton of potential. Mm-hmm. We've seen that. He's one of my hinge players for 2023, which obviously the season, there's a good enough team around him where if he plays well, Penn State can make a ton of noise. Now, we need to pull the Penn State schedule up so I can see it. But I think there is a better chance of Penn State just overall playing in the Big Ten championship, winning the Big Ten, than there is of UCLA. But I still right now think that Wisconsin has the best chance to win the Big Ten championship outside of Michigan and Ohio State because they're in the Big Ten West. And that's not discounting anything else. I love Luke Fickell and the Phil Longo matchup. We don't talk about Tanner Mordecai. Well, we talk about him. The college football world doesn't talk about Tanner Mordecai enough. That's a guy to maybe sprinkle a little bit of Heisman. Just if you're you want to take $20 under your parents' mattress, sneak in there at night when they're asleep, or how about you just wait till they go to work, or hope you have a job, unless I'm talking, 14-year-olds out there. But I think Penn State's got a better chance.
I'd have to agree. The Pac-12 is just so deep, especially at the quarterback position. Drew Aller's super high upside, and Penn State's always going to be so good on defense.
Yeah.
Their front seven on defense is always rivaled with some of the best in the league. And I just feel like the returning quarterbacks is just so tough, and I think UCLA lost so much. Penn State can have a year.
Yeah.
They can have a year.
I mean, they won 10 games last
year. You got the
year.
Ohio State's bringing back a new quarterback. We'll see with them. I know Michigan's everybody's picked to win it all.
Play them at home.
Play them at home. You go to the road, Ohio State.
Yeah, they do.
I believe.
You get Michigan at
You
home.
win one of those games. It's a real conversation.
And that's the thing is if you can find a way to win that division, mess around, maybe even a tiebreaker situation, then, I mean, you have to be favored in the Big Ten championship. I would think.
Let's
see what happens.
One you're not supposed to lose.
But here's their schedule: West Virginia at home, Delaware at home, at Illinois, Iowa at home, at Northwestern, UMass at home. Then they go to the Buckeyes. They get Indiana at home, at Maryland, Michigan, and Rutgers back-to-back at home, and then on the road at Michigan State.
And that Illinois game, that's an interesting game with what Bielema has got going on over
fun.
there. I know they lost a ton. They lost the Brown brothers, Sidney and Chase. We know Chase 100% which. That's a good question. All right, so we're talking about what is more likely. I'm going to tell you, it's not even what's likely. It's what's guaranteed to happen is I will be eating Good Ranchers tonight.
Every night.
Okay? They're the best meat delivery company, packaging company, prep company that there is in the world. We know the heat in Nashville right now is turned up, all right? It's hot as heck, all right? Hotter than it has been in years. But thanks to the heat and inflation, we're feeling the heat in even more than one way.
Yeah.
Right? Prices keep rising, just like the temperature. But the one thing I'm not sweating, boys, this summer is the price I pay when I get that price lock guarantee from Good Ranchers. And oh boy, are they diversifying their portfolio. They got pork now. You got a pork box on the way.
I do.
I don't know if I've ever been as excited about anything else in my life as I am about this.
As the pork box?
I'm so excited about it. You know me, I'm not, this isn't some, it's an ad read, so he's gonna make, no, we eat Good Ranchers literally every night. My wife made chicken parmesan the other day. I almost called the police, it was so good.
You should come over when the pork box gets here. Let's it's like Christmas Day. We
should
open it together, we look at it, then we put it on the grill, and then I'll eat it.
Well,
I wonder what's all in there.
Well, hopefully that you turns into a we.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
We'll tell you about it.
Nah, that's fine. That's cool.
We got, listen, we got pork, not beef.
I got the pork.
We got pork, not beef.
I got the chicken. You know what I'm saying? I got it all.
The chicken?
Good Ranchers, look, I mean, we're tight. We're tight.
But the cool part is you can actually really lock your price in with Good Ranchers. It's the industry first, their price lock guarantee. And since 2021, they've been helping people combat inflation by offering that price lock guarantee. And when you subscribe to Good Ranchers, you get that guaranteed price and a trusted 100% American source. This meat isn't getting flown over an ocean.
Yeah.
All right, that's not how it's working. It's getting delivered to your doorstep, made by Americans for Americans, and it's absolutely delicious. So visit goodranchers.com and use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, for $30 off any box. If you've ever trusted me you may not believe me about Joe Milton in Tennessee or this other stuff, but I promise you this $30 off will be worth it at goodranchers.com. Use that promo code BOOSTER. Goodranchers.com, promo code BOOSTER. American meat delivered. Now let's see what's more likely.
All right, Mel Tucker won 5 games at Colorado in his first year before he took that Michigan State head coaching job. What's more likely? Colorado wins 5 games this year, new head coach Deion Sanders, or Oklahoma makes the college football playoff?
Wow. This is a good one. You did get deep in your bag in this one. Colorado's schedule. I need to pull up.
I got
it. You got it,
You
Blaine?
got it. Run through it.
I got it.
Pull that up.
It's not the best. All right, you're
5. You said 5.
5.
5 wins.
So week 1, you're on the road at TCU.
It's going to be tough.
You got Nebraska at home week 2. Colorado State at home week 3.
Okay. I'll give you 1 there.
All right, then you go get destroyed at Oregon.
Yeah.
USC at home.
Murder.
Thanks for coming out. At Arizona State.
They could win that.
Yeah, they can win that. I think
They
can
could
that.
win it.
Stanford at home.
Okay, there's 2.
I think they can win that.
I'm thinking close to about as guaranteed as you can get. That's what I'm going
At UCLA. Dang.
It's going to be tough.
Oregon State at home.
No.
I don't know. DJ Ill.
No.
DJ
you
Put
may
some
not be the
respect on his
quarterback. Oregon
name.
State's so much better.
Why would I put respect on his name, Dave? There's none. Arizona at home. Got him at home.
It's going to be tough, man.
Dude,
Got him at
Delora's a witch. Like,
Got
I'm
him
a
at
big
home.
Jed Fish guy. I'm a big Jed Fish guy.
All right, but then you go to Washington State. It's never fun. Then you get to go on the road to Utah.
To get murdered.
That's their whole schedule?
again.
That's their schedule.
Where are the easy
No.
games?
Yeah, there's none.
Yeah, no, it's Oklahoma makes college football playoff. And listen, you look at, I think Oklahoma and Wisconsin are kind of in similar boats in that you play in a major conference, but you have one of the lighter schedules in that conference. Now, when it comes to the way the Big 12 operates, obviously, you know, it's a little bit different than the way the Big 10 operates.
Got Oklahoma scheduled too.
Yeah, run through Oklahoma's. I think Oklahoma go 10-2 and not have an elite team.
Arkansas State week 1.
Win,
SMU week 2.
win,
At Tulsa week 3.
win,
At Cincy week 4.
win,
Iowa State at home week 5.
win.
Texas at home week 6.
I'm gonna give them a loss.
It'll be neutral site, but yeah.
Neutral site, yeah. UCF at home.
Win.
At Kansas. It'll be a tough game.
It's gonna be a tough
Kansas will
game.
be better.
Yeah. At Oak State.
That's gonna be tough.
West Virginia at home.
Win,
At BYU. Winnable game.
win.
TCU at home.
I
Here's
agree with
listen.
you.
I
They
mean,
could win
think
9
about
or
it. Think
10.
about it. They
That'd be
could
great.
go. They could. Oklahoma could go 11-1 with this, and 11-1 with that schedule. I'm gonna tell you why people say, "Oh, Brent Venables this, Brent Venables that." I've said this a million times on the show. Oklahoma's defense didn't have the cats on it last year to be able to compete. Look at how many big plays they gave up. I think they're one of the worst teams on third down in the country. And now Brent has guys in there. Stutman's returns at linebacker. They've added guys through the portal. That defense now has the players to be able to do it. Right? A coach can only do so much. And I'm going to give Brent the benefit of the doubt on that one. Offensively, you return weapons, right? Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, he's got to stay healthy, but you're good enough on offense to be able to really, really make some noise. I think Oklahoma has a much better chance of going. And listen, I love Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter at Colorado, but it's up front. Colorado's not good enough up front. Give me Oklahoma having a better chance to make the college football playoff than Colorado does to win.
So there's no Kansas State on that schedule.
None.
Right? No Texas Tech.
Nope.
No Baylor.
Nope.
Right. I mean, and now granted, they were supposed to play Georgia early in the season,
Yeah.
and that game got canceled. But that schedule's. I mean, if you're looking at a Big 12,
Find me a
schedule,
more
that's what you
favorable
wanna
one in the
see.
Big 12.
I
Find me
And I
a more
wonder what their
favorable.
odds are right now to win the Big 12. I wonder
Well,
if they're out.
here's the crazy part. And again, it's you look at the way the Big 12 is structured, there's no divisions.
Mhm.
So if Oklahoma could lose to Texas, run the table and play them again,
Yes, without a doubt.
without a doubt. Like this isn't we're in one side, you're on the Wisconsin.
I believe that's what happened with. Is that what happened with TCU and Kansas State?
I
Was that a rematch?
I believe so.
So right now, odds wise, Texas is plus 115.
Is this to win the conference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oklahoma's plus 330. Kansas State plus 470.
Kansas State's plus 470.
Texas Tech plus 1200. TCU plus 2000. Baylor plus 2000. Iowa State plus 4000.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's no divisions. All right, it is straight up. Guess what? Top 2 teams play, which is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
All right, next one up. Which is more likely? All right, this is 2 perennial powerhouses here. That Clemson wins the ACC, or that Alabama wins the SEC.
I think that Clemson wins the ACC. I think there's just less landmines than Alabama. Well, look at the questions. Number one, the ACC is not as good as the SEC.
You pull up Alabama's.
Let's run this thought experiment out. I think we can say concretely that the SEC is a better conference than the ACC. All right, so that's one notch. Number 2, Clemson, I think, has less questions right now going into the year than Alabama does at certain spots, right? At important spots. Quarterback position. Now, we'll see what Cade Klubnik can do. I think Cade's going to have a really good year. And you brought in Garrett Riley, right? Which coordinator would you rather have? Garrett Riley or Tommy Rees?
Mm-hmm.
Which quarterback situation would you rather have right now? The one at Clemson? The one at Alabama? Which conference would you rather be in? Which schedule would you rather have? So I think, not to say, and listen, I know Alabama's 3 in the coaches poll, that's great. But when I look at Alabama, I think there's a legitimate chance that this is a year they could go 9-3. Now they could go 12-0. And I'm not trying to play both sides of the fence, but when has Alabama been shakier at very important spots or symbiotic spots, left tackle and quarterback? You lose Will Anderson Jr., right? You lose Henry To'oTo'o at Mike. Not that Alabama doesn't have great personnel, but that personnel still needs time. I think that the easy answer is Clemson, and you get Florida State at home during the regular season. So
going the same way?
Gotta be Clemson.
Yeah.
Right? You're in the ACC. Right? We could just end it right there. You're in the ACC. I mean, the sledding, the week in, week out sledding the SEC is just the toughest that you can imagine.
You can't get away with it.
Like Bama has a stretch of Ole Miss, Mississippi State, A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee, LSU.
But they've been running that for years. That's why the specifics that Jake's getting into, I think, matters here. You know, it's like, yeah, they're playing an SEC schedule, but they've dominated this conference for so long. So the struggles that they've had these past couple seasons, will that continue? Or
so is Clemson.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bama does get LSU at home, but even if you said, all right, Clemson gets Florida State at home, and the funny thing, LSU and FSU play each other. If you say Clemson gets Florida State at home, Bama gets LSU at home. Let's say you even take those two games out, right? Alabama still has a tougher schedule because you're in the SEC. I mean, Brian Kelly came in year one and won the SEC West at LSU with a better team returning this year at LSU. Now, you can make the argument, and I think you'd be correct, that Florida State's going to have a better team this year than they did last year. But if you add all those things up, if you did a pros and cons list of each team, I think it's got to point to Clemson. Now, does Clemson play Notre Dame again this year?
Yeah.
Is it at home?
It is at home.
It is at home.
Yeah. So
Alabama plays Texas.
Clemson gets Florida State at home.
At home.
They get Notre Dame at home. Now they go on the road to Miami. They go on the road to South Carolina, but they also get North Carolina at home.
I would much rather be in Clemson's shoes. I think, again, with all that added up.
Agreed. What is more likely? Tulane beats Ole Miss week 2, or Appalachian State beats North Carolina week 2?
The North Carolina game is at North Carolina this year because they tried to screw me last year. I bet on North Carolina. They ran that onside kickback for a touchdown, and I knew App State was about to go right down the field. Just slide!
But the Tulane game is at Tulane.
The Tulane game is at Tulane. I think, and here's I don't think North Carolina's going to be as good as they were last year with what they lost. And the book's out on Drake May now that you can stop it. Phil Longo's gone to Wisconsin. But where the game's played matter, where it's played matters. And North Carolina got the hell scared out of them last year by App State. They will not take App State lightly. The same App State team that ended up beating A&M, which, they'll be a little bit of a different team. But I don't think Mac Brown's going to have to convince the guys at North Carolina in Chapel Hill at home that they've got to get up and treat this game the way they treat a big-time game. Ole Miss, from a roster standpoint, I am worried about the defense a little bit. And I know Tulane did lose Ty J. I know they lost their best defensive player at linebacker, but they return a lot of guys. Now, like what they did in the portal, Pratt at quarterback, it's one thing to have 3 different quarterbacks that you feel good about, right? Jackson Dart, obviously Spencer Sanders, we'll see injury-wise how he is. Walker Howard, I think, is the future. I think Jackson's going to end up being the guy. But I think Pratt's a better player. And I think playing this game at Tulane, this is their Super Bowl, man. This is the biggest game on their schedule, and they get Ole Miss at home. How many times does this happen? Not that Ole Miss won't be ready for it, but I think there's a better chance that, shout out Timmy B, that Tulane beats Ole Miss than App State goes to Chapel Hill and wins that game.
I'd go App State to Chapel Hill, to be honest, because one thing, I mean, you bring back Drake May, that's phenomenal. You lose Josh Downs, who's in the NFL right now, who's his number 1 guy. Their defense
nasty
hasn't got any better, in my opinion. I don't think they'll be any better this year. And just play. I know you bring Pratt back if you're Tulane, but you lost your running back, NFL kid. Your middle linebacker, NFL kid. You had 2 of the top players and running back and linebacker in the country. I know you bring Pratt back, but that's hard to replace. It's almost impossible to replace. And I still think Ole Miss's I would trust Ole Miss's defense before I trust North Carolina's defense. And that App State North Carolina game last year was wild, and I guarantee it'll be wild this year. I think Tulane will play well against Ole Miss, but I think Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin schematically and just with the SEC talent they have, That'll be the difference.
It'll be fun either way.
Yeah, and again, this isn't saying that we think either of those teams is going to win that game. The question was which team is more likely to be able to win that game. But again, I'll say I do like what Tulane did in the transfer portal, and I think they kind of got a little bit of juice out of last year, and then you
having a great
season, some of those
winning the bowl game against SC.
I mean, Willie Fritz, man, too. I'm just
great coach.
I'll tell you guys what is likely for a lot of American men and women. That hair starts thinning out.
Yeah, it does.
I know it's a worry for a lot of people, but there's a way to not only combat it if it's already happening, but prevent it. I know a lot of you people are saying, prevent it. How can I prevent hair loss? Well, welcome to the show. Provia Hair Care, okay? There's millions of American men and women that are dealing with this. Premature hair thinning, they're worried about it. Finally, there's a real solution that delivers on its promise without the harsh side effects. These aren't some crazy chemicals. This isn't some sort of experiment they're putting you under. This is proven. This is effective. It is Provia Hair Care. They use safe natural ingredient called Procapil to effectively target the 3 main causes of premature hair thinning and loss. It supports healthy scalp circulation. It's effective for men and women of any age. And guess what? This is a question a lot of people ask. I get DMs about this actually when talking about Provia. It is safe on colored, treated, and styled hair. So regardless of what you do to your hair, this is not gonna mess it up. It can only yield you good results. And Provia works guaranteed 100% or you get your money back. It's that easy. That's a confident sell. It's, we joke around about it. You wanna get back in the dating game. You want your hair to look good, but it's a confidence thing.
Yeah.
As a person, not just male, not just female. We always say you got to look good to play good.
Yeah.
Provia can help you look good.
100%. And I think, 90% of the battle is walking in. I mean, you got to have hair. You got to have hair. And if you want to wear, how much could I work less and get the most out of it?
Yeah.
Right?
Harder or smarter, not harder.
And having hair is one of the ways. I don't want to have to go in and be extra funny. I don't want to have to go in and have a list of jokes I need to hit to get where I need to be.
Or guess that stock right and get rich.
You have a nice head of hair on you. Buddy, you already hit a double.
Yeah.
You're sitting on second.
The thing about it being preventative, too, is what
That's a
I
big
take
deal.
away from
That
it.
is a big deal.
Look, they say an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure.
That's exactly
no different here.
I've never heard that before.
Well, then I made it up.
Okay, well, that's the smartest thing I've ever heard.
And make sure you tell everyone that you know that I said that first.
For sure. Well, you can take advantage of Provia's exclusive introductory summer package at proviahair.com/booster. That's PROVIA.com/booster. And then, we're not done there with the savings. You enter the promo code BOOSTER at checkout, you get an extra discount on your order. See results for yourself right now, and don't wait. That's proviahair.com/booster. I promise you, you'll be way more confident. You'll be able to operate at maximum efficiency. If you're struggling out there with hair loss or you're worried about it, give Provia a chance. I'm telling you, this is the real deal. They do a fantastic job, and it's really safe. So go to provia.com/booster.
All right, which is more likely? Vandy goes to a bowl game.
Yes.
Or Iowa averages 24 points per game.
Oh.
They averaged 18 points per game last year.
Now you got to look at the schedule.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Vandy to a bowl game, baby.
I'm going to do it. I think it's more likely Vandy goes to a bowl game.
There you go.
Hey, look, little Ferentz is still calling the plays. Cade McNamara is better than that gargoyle y'all had last year standing at quarterback who made more bad decisions than a freshman in high school at a senior party.
Come on, Petrus?
Dude, Petrus? Oh, gosh. More like Petrus.
He didn't have a lot to go with. That 3 plays.
Yeah, well, still. I watched him play.
3 plays.
I watched him play. He didn't do a great job on those 3 plays. And I do put a lot of blame on the coaching staff. And do I think even Kirk Ferentz, the head guy, said they're not changing who they are. Whatever, great, fine. Not saying that Iowa won't be better, but you look at Clarkley and Vandy. I mean, I like Swan at quarterback. Last year, they got a little bit of taste. Maybe they're starting it. Now, their stadium ain't going to be finished on time. That's a knock. Like that. But again, it may make it look better because I don't know why y'all are adding seats to that place, but I'm not going to sit here and just down Vandy the whole time. But give a better chance for Vandy. You have Vandy's schedule?
Of course I do.
Pull it up.
Hawaii week 1.
Dub.
Slaughter.
Minus 18.
Put the rent on
that.
Alabama A&M week 2.
Win.
Go to Wake week 3.
Dude, Wake just had a big-time player get hurt, too. Sam Hartman's gone.
Start 3-0.
Winnable.
Winnable.
Then you go to UNLV.
Win. 3-1 at worst.
Kentucky at home. Ball game.
Loss.
Ball game. See that.
But a loss.
Okay.
Ball game, but a loss.
Mizzou at home.
Loss.
Ball game, but a loss.
At Florida. W.
No.
George W, baby.
No.
It's a George W.
Loss.
It's a W. Back-to-back years beating Florida. Then you go have a really tight game with UGA. Really tight game.
They could spot
it's a
Vandy
four-quarter
30
game.
points.
It's a
and
no
they
from
lose.
me.
Then you go to Ole Miss.
Okay.
You have Auburn at home.
Please go.
Trap
please
game.
go.
Trap game, baby. You go to South Carolina. Then you go to Tennessee.
I don't know. I'm rethinking this. What was the first question? The first part was
You think Iowa's going to average 24 points?
You think Vandy's going to win 6 with that schedule?
Rather than Iowa get 24 points? Yes. There's a better chance of aliens landing on the front lawn.
Can we pull up Iowa's
than
schedule?
Iowa
Can we just pull it up?
here.
Let me see if we can hashtag find a way. Tight end U.
They are tight end you.
All right. Utah State week 1.
Win.
God, just
They could score 24
Just
in
an
that
absolute
game. They could score 24 in that
grueling,
game.
grueling of a game
love Blake
against
Anderson.
Iowa State on the road.
Iowa State.
10-7.
Are they even going to have a team?
Western Michigan next, take the under.
10-7.
Western Michigan next.
What,
take
what do
the
you mean
under.
take the under? They can score 24 against
Their own
Western
players are
Michigan.
taking the under.
Let
Dave.
me think.
Their own
You
players
win.
are taking
Listen,
the under.
We need for this to hit. We need 31 against Utah
Dude,
State.
every
Give me
play-
31, 17, 27. Keep going. What's the next game?
At Penn State.
Oh, at Penn State.
Yeah.
At Michigan State at home.
Yes. You can score more than 24 in that one.
Purdue at home.
Could score more than 24 in that. Even though I love Ryan Walters, he just needs time to keep it steady.
At Wisconsin
No.
versus Minnesota at home.
God, that game's gonna be like 3-2.
Northwestern at home.
Murder.
Rutgers at home.
Murder. I'm liking it more and more.
Illinois at home.
Yeah.
At Nebraska.
Give me the 24.
Oh,
Give me the
we
24.
brought him over.
Give me the 24.
There's
You could mess around and score over 30 in 3 of those games.
I do want to see Vandy go to a bowl game, though.
Listen, I'm not
we all
saying-
do, David.
Okay, look.
Except Jake.
Look, no, if I'm going to tell people, if I'm going to make people happy, I'd sell them cookies and ice cream for a living.
That'd make me happy.
Yeah.
I know that'd make you happy, but guess what? I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm
Dang
telling you
it.
what you need to
These
hear.
lemon bars are amazing.
24 and a half points
All
a
right.
game. 24 and a half.
Next one up.
24.3.
Which is more likely? Oregon, Utah, and Washington combine for 30 wins this season, or LSU, Alabama, and Texas A&M combine for 30 wins.
God, see, it's got to be Oregon, Washington, and who was the other one?
Utah.
Utah, because they're not in the same division. Like, you look at those 3, they're in the same division. They're all going to play each other. Just the math. And I know that
These teams do play each other, though.
Yeah, well-
does Oregon,
Does Oregon play Washington?
Fine.
pull it up. Pull up Oregon.
I'm going to say off the cuff, I'm feeling
Yeah, they
the
play.
Pac-12 teams. Feeling the Pac-12
Combined for
teams.
30.
All right. So, and we go through the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right. Week 1, they're killing somebody. Week 2, at Texas Tech.
Loss.
Hawaii. God, Hawaii.
Win.
Why? Week 3, at home. Colorado at home.
Win.
At Stanford.
Win.
At Washington.
Okay, so
Well,
they do
that's
play
somebody's going to
Washington.
get a win out of that, so they do play Washington.
Okay. Washington
God,
State
is
at
Oregon
home.
going to start 3-2?
Washington State at home. At Utah versus Cal at home. USC at home. At Arizona State. Oregon State at home.
Okay.
So, wait, did they play
Okay.
Utah?
Yes. At Utah.
No. I'm changing it. Because I just did the math in my head. I hate to keep going back and forth. But LSU and Bama play each other. A&M plays LSU and Bama. Obviously, they're in the division. But if I have A&M going, I'm not saying my predictions yet, but I'm leaning toward A&M going 9-3. I'm leaning toward LSU going 11-1, and Bama hasn't lost less than 10 games in 15
Since
years.
Nick Saban's first.
That would be 30 wins on the dot. Damn it, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go SEC here.
What do you say?
I'm gonna go. What was it? Oregon, Washington, and Utah.
Yeah.
Because there's no shot in hell I watch Texas A&M win 9 games. So
It just always devolves into you just hating on A&M.
yeah, because like
That's why I had to throw him in there.
I'm sick of it.
Sick of you. I think
Sick of
A&M's
it.
sick of you.
Well, I'm sick of them.
All right, we saw the coaches poll come out, right?
Yep.
Which is more
Great
likely?
breakdown on that, by the way.
Yeah, which is more likely? Tennessee finishes the season inside the top 10, or Georgia finishes the year outside the top 10?
Tennessee finishes the year inside the top 10. Georgia finishes the year outside the top 10. I'm calling the cops.
100%.
Like
There's
Tennessee
no
is
way.
Tennessee is Joe Milton
Figuring it out.
figuring it out
away
from a nuanced standpoint, away from being
There's
really
a better
good.
chance of Iowa averaging 30 a game and Georgia not finishing in the top 10.
Yeah. If I don't want to think, can you imagine the Georgia fan base if they finished outside the top 10?
So, Kirby's fault.
No, yeah, they'll turn on
Kirby's
Kirby.
fault.
They'll
Kirby's
turn
fault.
on Kirby so quick.
You'll never be
A
safe.
lot of fan bases would. That's why fans short for
100%.
fanatical. They'll turn on Kirby. He
Yeah.
lost it. I'm already hearing that he lost it because a couple players are going to Florida State.
So where do you think Tennessee will finish up?
Right now,
Fine.
thank you. Again, I'm leaning this way. You'll see the final prediction.
You're leaning a lot.
No,
Teddy.
I have to lean.
Are you gonna?
I'm basically
the real
Fat
question
Joe right
is,
now.
Are
Mixed
you
with
gonna lean
Jamarcus
with
Russell,
it?
I'm leaning
You're gonna
so
lean
much.
with it and rock with it.
That's the real question. No, again, I will drop my predictions Monday, going into that Saturday of August 26th,
Okay.
the 19th, 20th. We'll reconvene. Go. What's Tennessee's schedule?
UVA week 1.
Dub.
Week 2, killing somebody. Week 3, you're at Florida.
Win.
Week 4, UTSA at home.
Not it's closer than the experts think, to quote this old guy still on TV.
All right, South Carolina at home.
Win.
A&M at home.
Win.
At Bama.
Loss.
At Kentucky.
Loss.
UConn at home.
Win.
At Mizzou.
Win.
UGA at home.
Loss.
Vandy at home.
9-3.
9-3. Tennessee. You go to a bowl game. I mean, I don't know. Is that getting you inside the top 10?
I mean, if your losses, depends on how Kentucky does, I think. If you lose at Kentucky, and again, that's what I'm leaning, not a prediction. If you lose at Kentucky, Kentucky has a big year. You lose at Bama, and then to Georgia, you could sneak in at number 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are really quality losses. And you beat a good UTSA team. It's going to have a chance to win their conference.
I think Missouri game on the road.
Well, I think between Missouri and Kentucky, those are the two that, if you're a Tennessee fan, you're looking at right now. That
South Carolina.
South Carolina, but it's at home. I'm telling you, South Carolina's not going to be good up front. Everybody's sitting here talking about Spencer Rattler, and it's not going to be whether I think Spencer Rattler's going to be fine, but they can't protect him, and they're not going to be able to run the ball, so it doesn't matter. Like, this isn't baseball.
How many games did South
or
Carolina win
basketball.
last year?
Where
I got
one
a
guy,
player prop next with Spencer Rattler if you want to hear.
dude, I swear we didn't plan this.
Dude, you're segueing right
Earth
into
is
these
my
things.
planet.
We're mind-mouthing.
What's more likely? Drake May and Spencer Rattler combined for 1,000 total yards in that opening game they play against each other. Or that Michigan running backs Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards both rush for 1,500 yards this season.
It's way more likely that Drake and Spencer go nuts in that first game. I think that game could be 55-53.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust either one of these defensive lines to be able to stop anybody. I think you're going to have so many passes in this game because it's going to be there in the back end. I think you're going to have a lot of quick strikes. I'm going to tell you right now, first weekend when this one's going down, really week 2, okay, if we want to call it what it really is, I am going to be smashing the over. I'm just going to be smashing it. I'm going to put all the money that I've accrued in my life. I need to parlay it. Vandy -18 and whatever the over is in this game.
So
By the way,
you said Blake Corum and Donovan each
rush for
Each
15.
rush for 1,500. Now,
50.
last
I don't think Donovan's
season,
going for 50.
Blake Corum ran for 1,500 yards last year and got hurt in that Illinois game before the year started. And Donovan Edwards rushed for 1,100 yards.
He rushed
and
for
got
11 last
So I got here is
beginning of the year.
Blake Corum rushed for 1,463. Donovan Edwards rushed for 991.
Okay, so I have
That's still.
I'm on.
if it was 1,000 yards.
I'm on Sports Reference.
Okay, I'm on
It
ESPN.
has. Okay, this must be from scrimmage then. 1543 from scrimmage.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, you counting catching the ball at the back?
Yeah, I was counting.
Okay.
catching the ball.
But still, I mean, one
I'm
of
sorry.
us went for
Total yards.
Okay.
Oh, total yards. Total
Total
yards,
yards.
not
Really
rushing
bad.
yards. Total yards. Oh, man.
No.
Hey, here's the question. Blake got hurt at the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
How much is Michigan going to try and give Blake, don't mean for this to rhyme, a little bit of a break, but feed Donovan too? Is there a third back in there that you think may get some?
There's one of the younger guys who's coming up that I really like. Not the third string guy from last year.
Yeah,
The only
Michigan's
thing that would
offensive
stop
line
me
is so
that
good.
J.J. McCarthy can tote it.
Yeah.
Yes. I know.
Right?
Yeah.
That would kind of be the difference.
And the thing is, too, with that one, you have to do it over the course of a whole season
Yep.
with guys who have already had some injuries.
Mhm.
Whereas with the first one with Drake May and Spencer Rattler, it's kind of like if two great guys just go out and freak out for
I
one
don't think
weekend,
anybody's
you could get
stopping
1,000 total
anybody.
yards.
I don't think
Especially if shots are going in early for both of them.
And both can run.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what would stop Drake May from throwing for 350, running for 120, and
Those
Spencer doing a
snaps.
little bit better than that, or vice versa? I mean, I would go. That's a great question, but I would go Spencer and Drake.
All right, I'll save the rest of these for later.
Definitely.
Got a couple more. But do you want me to do the all names list?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the Booster Club, let us know which do you think's more likely in some of those. Just throw them in there. As you know, we're obviously in Vegas right now at the Power Slap. Just absolutely watching guys just what's that game?
Rock'em, sock'em,
Twist it.
Sock'em, slap 'em though. Yeah, so we did the all-name team going into this year in college football.
We did do
but
that.
Tell the people what you found.
Well, our boys over at Elite College Football put together the all names team for all time.
For all time.
In college football. I'll read just a couple here. Quarterback, Jim Bob Cooter.
Of course.
Of course, yes.
Got to be
He
on
belongs.
there. Running back, I'm hip
No
at
way.
Nebraska.
Not real.
I.M.hip with 2 P's. I'm hip.
I don't care what you say, but that guy's not real.
Yeah, that's
Wide receiver,
here we go.
Fudge Van
Okay, dude.
Fudge Van Hooser. Fudge Van
Shut up. Shut up.
At
My Van
Tulane.
Hoosen.
At Tulane.
My
Fudge
Van
Hooser.
Hoosen is schmoozin'.
100,000 America Dutch marks.
You bruising my Van Hoosen?
Offensive tackle, Boston College. Win Homer.
I thought his name was Boston College.
Yeah.
Win Homer.
I was like, no way, dude.
Offensive tackle at ECU, Guy Wimper.
Guy, ooh.
Guy Wimper.
You know he's pissed all the time.
D tackle at Howard, God's Power Offer.
Dude, stop.
Stop.
Nah.
God's Power
no,
Offer.
Bro.
No. Like at some point, when does the person in the hospital just say, nah, you can't do this? Say, what's the name? It's like, they're like, what's the name? No, seriously, like,
Yeah, you need to start
What do you-
typing in differently.
you realize this is a human being and not a goldfish, right?
D lineman from Cincy, Silverberry Muhan. Silverberry.
And like, what possible excuse could you have for naming your child Silverberry? Like, you had to be somewhere, right? When you conceived him? Like, yeah, we were in Silverberry, Ontario. Is it right? That's the only way? Because I don't know if there's a Silverberry you eat.
Obviously, linebacker here, we have Dick Buckus, all right, from Illinois.
Yeah.
You know, Hall of
He
Fame.
knew he was going to
But the other linebacker from Eastern Illinois, I can't even.
Say it.
Yes.
Lucius Pusey.
What'd you say, David? This is
David, what was that last word?
It's a friendly.
How's it
this
spelled?
is family-friendly.
Pusey.
Lush. You sure his first name's not Luscious?
Yeah. it's just-
Lucious. I'm trying to be. You know what? I'll go to the next one.
Look at Dave. You know it's bad when David gets uncomfortable. He's like, this next one is
DB from
Oh, wow.
FIU. Wonderful, terrific Mons the second.
what?
Wonderful, terrific
6
Mons.
months in jail. 6 months in jail.
Wonderful, like, okay, you named him Wonderful. Can you stop there? You got to go terrific.
Where did he play at?
FIU.
To FIU.
He wasn't that wonderful, was he?
DB, Wave Rider. From
That's
Dayton.
fire.
Wave
That's fire.
Rider.
I'm putting
That's
you on their
fine.
best player every
Yeah,
game.
That's fine.
And last two, the kicker, Chris Blewett.
Oh yeah.
Chris Blewett
was
from
good.
Pittsburgh. He was a good player.
Yeah.
He was good.
Chris
Well,
Blewett.
can you trust though? Like, can you imagine being the special teams guy in that meeting? And they're like, all right, it's into the recruiting meeting. They're like, all right, Dan, you know we got one scholarship to offer a kicker. Who do you like? You'd be like, Coach, there's this one kid out of California. His name's Chris. He's like, Chris. What?
What'd you say?
What was that, Coach?
All right, Chris Blewett.
We're not recruiting a kid.
out.
I'd be like, yeah,
Get out.
you're fired.
What was the kicker from Texas?
Wasn't it Hookem? Or not Hookem. It
No.
was like his name was like Ron. You missed it, or something bad.
What was it?
It was like Ron.
It
was like
What- no,
Dale
it was
pushed
something
it.
with- yeah.
Dicker
was it-
the kicker. wasn't
Dicker,
it?
Casey Dicker.
Casey Dicker.
Dicker the kicker. See, that's a cool
Kicker.
one.
Yeah.
Blewett. You're just like
I still like Parker.
you got.
Titsworth.
But see,
Parker Titsworth? He's not on
still,
this
the
list.
reverse thought of that is like if your last name's Blewett, you know you got to be good.
You've got to be good.
Same thing with Dick Butkus.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing receiver.
It's like a
right.
boy named Sue. Like, you just grow up different.
Yeah,
you
you
know.
better. Yeah,
Catch it early.
Last one, the punter, Jet Toner from
I
Stanford.
like that.
Jet Toner.
I like that.
There you go.
Anything jet involves gas.
We had a kid. We played. Who was it? Where the kid? I think it may have been San Diego State. His name was like Jackson Wiener. I swear. Because you put
Did
together
you just want to say wiener? Is that what you want to do?
Good for
you put
you.
together the scouting report, right? And like these are like really in depth. Like here's what they run. Here's the. It's like, and starting at Holder was Jackson Wiener. I was like, like a grown man laughing. Like I put that in the scouting report. The amount of times that that
it sucks you played Holder.
This always devolves. This
You're funny. You're a funny guy.
Wiener's holding.
Yeah.
Who's holding? Wiener, get in there.
Wiener, go hold.
This always devolves into
I love
something.
this segment. We could do
we could do this segment all day.
I
We
hope
should do like an all sports.
You died last time.
I was dying.
You were dying.
Who was the one? No, what was the,
You
there was
said
another
something.
one that really got you last time.
Bro, there was a couple.
Was it Cage Pig?
He's on this one too.
No, it was one.
Pig Cage.
It was just ridiculous.
It
I can't
was.
remember what
It's like
it
there's
was.
no way that's a real.
You couldn't get
person.
it out. You couldn't get it out.
Yeah, there's
Like,
no way
I
it's
always
a
knew it
real
was gonna be funny if you're dying.
Did we? If there's another one. From
Oh, shoulda. You talking about shoulda?
What's his name?
Oh man.
Oh, great stuff. If there's one outside of the college football world too that you guys find, drop them in the comments.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe as well. I can feel the Booster Club buzzing right now. Remember, we're back live Friday. All right, we'll be back from Vegas. Gonna have a bunch of stories and compelling content as we get ready for the college football and football season in general, even though it never stops.